All right. I always like to start with sort of a self-assessment for everybody. So in the chat, if you could put a 1 if you're new to using LinkedIn and maybe you don't even know your password, put a 2 if you're there, but you want to know these sneaky secrets and get more effective, and a 3 if you're an expert and should come work with me. Again, that's a 1 if you're really a beginner, don't even know your password, 2 if you're there but want to know how to use it more effectively, and 3 if you should come work with me. Excellent. David, come, you're halfway to working with me. Excellent. And this is pretty common too, is it makes it easier. If we had someone in the room that was a 1, we would have to go slower. So let's go at New York speed. All right, so LinkedIn, the thing about them is they have all these features and all these things you can do, but they both don't tell you about them, or I don't even think they know. So there are ways to use, I think they just get an idea where someone says, hey, why don't we? And they let them do it, but they don't really think about the benefit, how you can use it, and all of that. So I like to be a detective and figure those things out. We're going to skip this. We did that. The first thing is you're a networking group. There are some things you can do to make your networking more effective. The first thing you can do is download your connections to a spreadsheet. Has anybody ever done this? Yeah, so really powerful. We don't remember who we know. And then I don't like systems, so I'm not going to use some big customer relationship management tool, but I'll use a spreadsheet that I can add columns to, sort the data, that kind of thing. So it's really good. It's also good to, I would say once a quarter, click on the download larger data archive. That is everything. That includes your recommendations, everything, all the stuff that they'll let you have, because what if one day LinkedIn went away? You want the wording of those recommendations. You can use them in other places, use them on your website, use them wherever you want, as social media posts, things like that. Now, if you take nothing else away from what we talk about today, this technique has supercharged so many networking councils that I've shared it with. So if you say to me, Beth, I want to meet a real estate attorney. Of course I know some, but there's too much going on in my head. It almost makes it harder for me to think of someone when you ask, and it's a vague, broad category. So the idea is to be able to make a specific request, because then the person can say no or yes, or it becomes a conversation. So the acronym I want you to remember is SPAC, S-P-A-C, and that stands for search, people, all filters, connections of. So in the example here, I'm going to be meeting with the person gave me permission to use him, a guy named Steve. And if I want to meet CFPs, certified financial planners, I put that in the search. So S, search. Then sometimes the information that comes up is weird, like it shows this board and other stuff. So I'll click on the people button on the top left just to make sure that it's people. So search, people. Then I'll click all filters. And in what comes up, I will put the person who I'm having the networking conversation with, connections of. And you can narrow it down with other things like location, if that's important to you. So here, 4 results. So 4 people that Steve knows or is connected to, and that's why it becomes a conversation. So I can look through and I can say, Steve, I see you're connected to Ramona. Can you make an introduction? How well do you know her? And it becomes, he might say, I connected with her, no idea who she is, but you should really meet Stephanie. So it becomes a much more powerful and much more specific way to help each other and make it easier for the person to be able to make that introduction for you. And you can teach it to the person you're meeting with. So if you have a conversation, Victor, if you have a conversation with Mark coming up, you can both do this. Say, hey, let's mine each other's connections using this SPAC method and make some specific requests. Now, the question I always get, so I'll answer it, is, well, someone asked me for an introduction to somebody, but I don't really know them. So there are two things. One, maybe you just don't really know them. You're not comfortable making that introduction for whatever reason. Or if it's just that you don't know them and you want to help the person, because you're connected to them, you can send that person a message and say, so if I'm connected to Ramona, for instance, hey, Ramona, we connected here a long time ago. We haven't really spoken and don't know each other well, but there's someone I really think you should meet. Are you open to that introduction? The worst thing that happens is Ramona says no. Plus, it gives me a chance to reconnect with her and perhaps bring our relationship closer together. Any questions on that? Because this is like the magic. I could just do this one sneaky tip and it could change your business.
So this is people that these aren't Steve's or whoever you're looking for. I can't remember, right? They're first degree connections. These are just people that you mutually know. No,
these are people he knows, but I do not.
Okay, so that's his first connections, but doesn't, obviously your second connection.
We may have, like, if we happen to have a common connection, that would show up as well. In this case, in this example, we didn't have any. So if I was connected to the same CFPs that he was, that would also show up mixed in with the second connection. Yeah, this is the magic. This is looking for your prospect and having
someone who knows that prospect.
Well, so there's a way to do that, but this is very specific. This is when you're having a one-to-one conversation with someone in this group. And if you know, like, and trust them and you have that relationship, you can make a specific request and it makes it so much easier for them to help you because they can say yes, they can say no, they can say, you don't want to do business with Gregory, but I'm going to introduce you to Stephanie.
Right. Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know, time-wise, does anybody want to share their screen and try it? Or just do it behind the scenes and let me know if you come up with anything good. So why don't you all try this? If you are on your computer and are comfortable opening LinkedIn at the same time, because I really want you to get the SPAC. So search, people, all filters, connections of. So put in the job title or some keyword for the person that you're looking to meet, your prospect, in search, click enter, click people, then over to the right, all filters, and under connections of, put a person's name. Ignore the connection level, don't click there. And pick someone else in the room that you're connected to.
Yeah, I did it. Michael, you don't know any CFOs.
Beth, can you do this inside Navigator?
And that's a feature.
No, this is free version.
No, I'm saying, but is there a way to do this also in Navigator?
I have to think about that because I do it, that kind of thing I tend to do here. I haven't tried it. I'll have to try that after the fact and let you know.
Okay, because if you could do it in Navigator, I mean, I built literally from scratch my wife's profile. And all I did was manually find one person to connect with her and then go to that person's connections like you're describing.
Right, but
one by one.
this isn't, what I'm describing is more of a networking tool. It's how to help each other. So in other words, you have to really know the person. So so if you and Stacy have a networking call, right, you hopefully know each other and will want to make those introductions for each other to first connect with somebody and then have to get to know them. You already know the people in the room.
Right.
So that's what I'm suggesting. All right.
Beth, can you say that again? You said people and then connection.
Search people. When the result page comes up, because sometimes it shows other things besides people, click on people on the top.
Mm-hmm.
And then a little further to the right, it's all filters.
Okay.
And then where it says connections of, put a connection of yours that you're going to be having a meeting with.
And where do you put them? I'm looking at it right now. Is there a place that you put that in the bottom? Where's that? Where do you put the name of that person in that last section?
So a window like this will pop up.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah.
And see right here, it says connections of. You start typing their name right here.
Got it. Add a connection. Got it.
Yep.
Got it. Excellent.
So if you remember nothing else from today, this is a good one. The next
I'm only going to remember that Mike doesn't know any CFOs.
Well, but he might it's a little like being a detective. What if they don't have it written that way? What if they spell it out? So do
Yeah.
try it with chief financial officer as well. Okay. The next sneaky strategy is, how many of you like to look at who viewed your profile? Right? We're all curious. Does anybody do anything with that information?
I have.
Yeah, I mess
I've followed
around.
up with people.
Sometimes it's creepy though, because it's like, I saw you were looking at me.
Okay, so here's the magic. If a first connection looks at you, so this is somebody that you know, or at least are connected with, there's a reason. Now, it could be nothing, it could be they're minding your connections. It could be they want to see how to spell your name, whatever. But if you haven't spoken to them in a while, it's a sign that you should reach out to them. So a friend of mine named Manny had looked at my profile, hadn't spoken to him in ages. I think I sent it actually by an email. I said, hey, Manny, notice you stopped by my profile. And that wording is important because it doesn't make it creepy. Some people, because I know their personality, I will say, hey, saw you on my profile. Yes, I wasn't stalking you or something like that. But the wording it makes it more approachable. So notice you stopped by my profile. How are you?
Yeah.
He immediately picked up the phone, called me and said, oh, Susan said you're the person to talk to about LinkedIn training. And that led to a client. If I hadn't noticed that, what if he got too busy and never called me? What if Susan gave him 3 names and he called someone else first and then decided not to call the other 2 people?
Right.
So, and even if it was sort of a no reason, it allows you to reconnect and have a conversation, whether by text or chat or phone or whoever, with someone in your network to strengthen that relationship. Same thing for second connections. I like to look through, and if there's a second connection that I think, wow, I really should know this person, again, there's a reason they came there and I don't know what it is and I'm curious. So in that case, if I want to connect with them, I'll send a connection invite and I'll say that, I'll be honest. Notice you're on my profile. I'm always so curious how people find me, why they stop by, open to connecting or letting me know why.
Beth, can I ask you, I don't recall the details offhand, but there was something about if you're able to see who viewed you, there's something that you have to disclose, and I forget.
Yes.
There was something
Yes.
weird about that.
Yeah. So in settings, you can, and I advise only doing it temporarily when you're doing competitive analysis or whatever. You can make yourself anonymous when you visit someone so that they can't see you've been there.
Right.
During that time period, LinkedIn won't show you who looked at you.
Right.
How do you do that?
So sometimes when you look, you'll see, and it'll say a LinkedIn user. That means they are currently anonymous. Yeah.
Okay. So it's just a reciprocity
Yeah.
thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have 2 minutes left. You can keep going.
All
How do
right.
you want to do it?
Including
tricks.
questions. So should I take questions?
On this one, Beth, reaching out to people who viewed your profile, I have 200 to 250 profile views a day. Is
Mhm.
there any chance to automate the outreach?
So that's a whole conversation in itself. Automated tools that I don't, first of all, know if there are tools that can do that specific thing, but automation on LinkedIn is against the terms of service. It can get you kicked off the platform.
Mhm.
And I actually did a post yesterday or the day before, a poll talking about ignoring the fact that it's against the terms of service. What do you think about it? And most people can tell it's automated outreach, hate it, and it's like a cold call. So I would definitely don't advise automated outreach.
So what do you advise when you have 200 profile views a day?
Um,
Hire somebody.
Yeah.
Hire somebody, yeah, I have somebody for you.
well, here's something. So if you have an assistant, you're not supposed to let other people in your profile, but if you open it on the computer and let somebody see it or share the screen, or I'm not saying you can give them access, but if someone had access to they could review, and if they knew what you were looking for and what made you want to connect with somebody, but I would still I would be the person, I wouldn't let somebody else decide. I would be the person to say, yes, I want to reach out. I don't want to reach out.
Okay.
Gotta be careful. Beth can lose her LinkedIn license if she recommends something.
I don't know. And also, honestly, I like to say there are no shortcuts to relationships. I mean, you're doing it in this room, right? So nobody wants to feel like they're a number. Nobody wants to get something without, dear first name. It's just, yeah, that's just my personal perspective on it. Does anybody have any, I guess time-wise, does anybody have any questions? Oh,
We
too
have,
late.
we have room for one question, as long as it's a relatively short question.
I have a question about just the cadence when
Yeah.
you're meeting somebody. What is your experience when you reach out for the first time and you want to evangelize to them, you want to sell them something, but you probably should be a human being and maybe say something not about irrelevancy, but what advice do you have when you're kind of
To
reaching
keep
out?
the social in social networking.
Exactly.
But,
So,
but
so
I
you're
feel it's
talking about-
duplicitous. It's like I'm full of crap. I'm like, no, let's talk about the
Yeah.
weather. It's like, no. So I kind of want to cut to the chase.
Yeah,
Sure.
I always think about, if you're not sure how to behave, would you do that thing or say that thing in person? If you were in a room and you met the person?
Well, the problem is I would. Mike knows that.
Well, then it could work.
Whatever it is,
But also, if you're
I'd
I'd
talking
probably
about-
do it.
You're talking about reaching out to people you don't know yet.
Yeah.
So a little tip. So this is good. If they're active on LinkedIn, and by active, I mean they share content and engage with content of others. Not in a creepy way where you do it, because this has happened to me, not where you do it 3 times in a row and then go follow them on Twitter, and that doesn't work. But if they share content, truly engage with their content. So read what they wrote,
Yeah.
comment on it, ask a question. If you ask
Yeah.
a question, what are they going to do? They're going to write back. So
Yeah.
you've started a dialogue, and it's
And it's
just that-
legitimate. It should be legitimate. Yeah.
Exactly.
Got it,
And
yeah.
as if sales strategy is your thing, you want to build up the relationship before you bring it to a sales conversation, and you want to get permission to do that. You want to know that you've earned that right.
Yeah. So you find common ground in that post that they were doing, or that concept, and then you earn.
And
Got it.
you have to sense it. You have to take it more slowly than as a salesperson you might like.
Yep.
And I'm gonna share in the chat just both my contact information and some resources, links to things that you all might enjoy.
Great. This has
thank
been great.
you. This is, wow, quite a list here. Okay. Everybody should copy that. I just put in the chat the list of folks, all of the attendees. You have a question?
Yeah, Beth, I have a quick question. I don't know if it's per se related to what you just shared, but how do you do a LinkedIn Live, and how do you appeal a decision if you haven't been approved to do LinkedIn Live?
So if you haven't been approved, just wait a couple weeks and apply again. Also, when you apply, have examples of video that you've done elsewhere that they can see. And it seems, I don't know for sure, it seems like people are getting approved from their company pages more easily than them as the person. I don't know why, but so you could try, if you have a company page, you could try applying from your company page. But
All
just
right.
wait a couple weeks. I know people who it took them 6 times, but then they got it. I also know someone who did a whole campaign. It depends on your personality. So like I could see David doing this, right? Doing a campaign saying, hey, I've applied, I do all this great stuff elsewhere, LinkedIn, please give me, and saying to their friends and making even a hashtag like, give me LinkedIn Live or something. Could backfire, could work, who knows?
Cool, thank you so much. We're gonna move to our intros. We'll take it 2 minutes each person. I think that'll give us enough time. I just put in the chat the order in which people showed up. So it would be Stacy, Bryce, Victor left. Be Stacy, Bryce, Ken. So I'll put on a 2-minute timer. If you want to talk about something personal, how about what your plans are for the summer, if anything? So Stacy, you are up.
So, hi, guys. My plans for the summer. My plans for the summer include building up this business. I switched, as some of you know, niches from general copywriting to the legal industry. So I'm kind of starting from scratch and launching cold email campaigns with case studies and that sort of thing to build the business again, but this time, of course, with attorneys as clients. And just letting folks know that we're out here and, we have a track record, but our track record is more general. So, little by little, we are adding more and more attorneys to our list of clients and building up our portfolio. And that's what I'm doing for the summer. That's my entire summer. So that's it.
Are you targeting any specific types of lawyers?
Not really, but we tend to, attract B2C, like divorce, personal injury, real estate, that sort of thing. But no, we're not targeting any particular practice area.
You said you're using email
The
marketing?
first one, pardon?
You're using email marketing?
Yes.
Okay.
Email marketing, yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I will keep you guys posted. And if it
Okay.
works, I'll tell you all my secrets.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Okay. Bryce Wade, you are up.
Today, I'm just here to listen. We're doing a bunch of stuff. I'm busy with SEO, so I'm not talking about anything today. I see my time.
Oh, wow. What are you doing this summer?
I'm probably going to be swamped with work for the next few weeks. We just signed a couple of pretty big clients that are going to give us a whole bunch of work. So yeah,
That's very exciting.
That is exciting.
And that is for Ad Cannibal or other stuff?
no. So we got, so there's one of our friends is a really good business plan writer. So she talks to public companies and they pay her ungodly amounts of money for amazing business plans. So she really wanted to sell something that would help pubcos. So we're designing some products and yeah, we're basically packaging a bunch of our systems into one, a couple packages that do different things, and she's going to be selling them for us, essentially white label. So yeah, we're going to be pretty busy pretty soon.
Very cool. Okay. Ken, Simon.
Hi. Oh, okay. I'm unmuted. What am I doing this summer? I don't really know. I mean, I had a kind of busy earlier spring or whatever, so now it's sort of like just relaxing and trying to figure out life. And hopefully it doesn't get too hot and whatever, but I'm trying to, get more business. I am working with small and mid-sized businesses within the financial services, helping with strategic marketing and demand gen. So I'm trying to just generate business.
How you going about that?
Anyway, networking. I'm going to try some of those LinkedIn tricks, that I haven't done, but I'll have to figure that. I mean, I like that search, the SPAC one. That was interesting. So I'll have to try that. I'm just kind of not sure whether just sending an email saying like, oh, do you know so and so or whatever is how effective that is. But we'll see. I'm just worried about with all the spam I get now. It's like I'll be just adding to someone else's spam.
Well, you could certainly do a mutual call where they look at yours and you look at theirs. I'll show you mine if you show me yours, kind of thing.
That's true. Yeah. So I may play around with that and see.
All right. That sounds good. Let's see who was next. So Henning, then Howard, then Patia.
Yep, thank you. So my plans for the summer follow on the heels of what we did in the spring. About 3.5 months ago, my wife and I decided we can work from anywhere, and we left Kansas City and spent 3 months on the West Coast in California.
Oh.
And work from there. And so in 4 weeks, we'll fly to Europe and spend 5 weeks in Germany and Barcelona and work from there to come back here to Kansas City for a few weeks. And then we're heading back out to the West Coast.
Yes.
We joined the force of nomadic work from homers and, use places like Home Exchange or Airbnb, or friends and family to find places where we can stay for a couple of weeks and work.
And Henning, you might want to explain what you do and how you can help other people. I don't want this to be all about summer.
Yeah, well, it will help whether it's summer or not. I place sales leaders into companies. I follow on the heels of fractional CFOs, fractional COOs, and have a roster of currently 250 fractional VPs of sales or fractional CROs that are available for assignments. Collectively, they cover every industry, every sales challenge, every product group. And my goal is to find the perfect fit for the business and their particular needs at this moment in time.
Where have you had the greatest successes?
Typically in those areas where you would suspect companies that look for hyper growth. So anything between a pre-revenue startup and a company that has between 6 and 8 sales reps, because at that size, you typically need a full-time sales leader.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Howard, Patia, then Rajiv.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'll be working like Bryce, working through the summer as well. Our big client has our big campaign, so we'll be working on that. We also just landed another client under our company, Red Rooster Group, which promotes nonprofit organizations. So we landed an organization called Community Security Service. They train people to be volunteer security eyes and ears at synagogues, community centers, schools, and so forth to combat anti-Semitism incidents. This is in the New York tri-state area. So we'll be doing a marketing lead generation campaign to identify organizations that could use this free service, and we'll be willing to recruit a dozen to 20 people in their congregation to go through this training program to be the eyes and ears of the synagogue or institution. So gearing up for the Jewish high holidays, in a couple of months. So we're putting the pedal to the metal on that one, the kid outreach. Mostly through umbrella. We're going to try to work through umbrella organizations that are, organizations of that have, synagogues or other institutions, as members of them, so we can offer that service.
Thanks.
That's what I'll be doing.
So do you hire like Israeli security? Or they hire Israeli security experts? Yeah.
They have. Well, that's one of their key staff person is Israeli. Exactly, he's a security expert. It's interesting how they could, their main premise is that the local congregants can recognize the patterns that paid, off-duty cops or other security people can't. There's one incident where, someone came to Orthodox synagogue on a bicycle, and, anyone who's Orthodox would know that you can't, that's against the Jewish rule of riding on the Sabbath. And so this is actually in Belgium, with this whole model of volunteer security is more common. So the Belgian security let them through, but, the members of the congregant, who are trained in this recognize that that was not a member of their congregant. And they actually determined that it was, they stemmed a terrorist threat.
Got to know your targets better than that. Okay, not to give anybody any hints, but Patia, you are up. I think this is your first time, right, Patia?
This is my first time. I do know some people. I know Howard, I know Stacy, I know Rajiv, and I know you, of course, which is why I'm here. For the rest of you, my name is Patia Abdul Razak, and I guess I wear many hats. Let's talk about the first and main one. I own a digital marketing agency called the Stylista Group, and we focus on lifestyle and luxury brands. And we provide 3 main services: really targeted email campaigns, not your one-off newsletter, sort of marketing automation to specific segments of a client's list, everything social media, everything that social media has become. So everything from strategy only through implementation, community management, and of course, social media ads. And as a great pairing for that, we also do micro-influencer collaborations, because the brands that we work with, micro-influencer collabs are a great way to build brand awareness, or for the older brands that I've worked with over the years, to present those brands in front of newer present day customers. So that's one hat. The second hat that I wear, I'm what's called a Grow with Google partner trainer. And so what it is Google has this program called Grow with Google, where they hire people like me to be third-party presenters. And we work with organizations such as universities, small business associations to provide Google digital training to their audiences. And then my third hat, co-founder of Mosaic Mommies, which is a multi-ethnic mommy blogger platform. And why we're different from most other blogger influencer platforms is that we really want to work with brands pre-launch in the focus group arena, so that we can give them great feedback, especially as it relates to diversity and inclusion. In 2021, we still have brands being culturally insensitive. And so hopefully working with somebody like us could help them to save themselves some embarrassment pre-launch. And then of course we will do collaboration campaigns as well. So that's that's it for me. I'm very busy.
I can see that. You squeezed a lot in your 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I've known Patia for quite some time, but we're very happy to have her as part of this group.
Absolutely.
fast.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope everybody got all of that, because if not, you could always reach out to
If not,
Patia.
connect with me. I think I've already connected with everyone on LinkedIn. So just reply back and we can have a virtual coffee and talk more.
Wonderful. So Rajiv, then Mark, then David. Rajiv, you're-
Awesome. Thank you, Michael. What do I do? My big mission is to infuse happiness into the world. How do I do this? By taking away your problems. Not all problems, some problems related to bad press and bad reviews. How do I do it? By deleting it. Yes, you heard me. I said delete it. Not as simple as pressing the delete key, but close enough. Because doing that would be hacking, and we don't do that. So what do? We delete bad press from Google, and we delete bad reviews from Google, Facebook, and Amazon. Why? We do this because we're here to represent those businesses and organizations that have been maligned online or treated unfairly by haters. And that's the only reason why we do this. Also, just to clarify, we are not here to let bad actors get away with it. I repeat, we are not here to let bad actors get away with it. We would not work with people like that, since our whole goal is to infuse happiness by helping troubled people become happy again, and let that pay it forward by making other people happy in the process. And that's our why. My ask is to be introduced to people in corporate communications, as well as a specific kind of attorneys, entertainment attorneys, sports attorneys, and IP attorneys. Those would be some key attorneys that would be super helpful, as well as obviously people in marketing and PR, but also if you know anyone in corporate communications and compliance. Yeah. So I'll put down all these in the chat, so it's super easy to know. Feel free to please connect with me on LinkedIn so I can figure out more about what you do and make introductions for you on tap. With that being said, I hope everyone has an epic weekend and a great rest of the week, and see you on LinkedIn.
Thank you.
Thank you so
I
much.
just want to know,
Rajiv.
what are your puppet videos?
Oh, the puppet videos are a new service that we've introduced where we create original content using puppets. And I'm not a puppeteer, just for clarification. We work with a studio that does just that.
You said sports, IP, and what's the other attorney?
Sports,
Entertainment.
IP, entertainment, and compliance.
Okay, great, thanks.
I know somebody who works with former professional athletes. I'm not sure if might be, I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be
let's-
great. Thanks. Thanks,
okay,
Michael.
I have to dig them up again. David Cutler, then, I'm sorry, Mark Teeble, then David Cutler, then Jason Cement.
Oh, hi. What am I doing for the summer? Well, not a whole lot, except immediately tomorrow, I'm actually flying to the West Coast for 5 days. But other than that, to see my daughter, my son-in-law, and my grandson. So that's actually pretty cool. But other than that, I'm going to stick pretty close to home, and that's what I'll do. But anyway, what I do is I do a lot of pre-market due diligence, and so I do competitive analysis, I do market segmentation, do go-to-market strategies, I do market discovery, basically anything positioning, anything that's pre-branding. That's what I do. And I do it mainly for private equity groups and sometimes private clients.
Mark and I are working together right now on a project
This is true.
in the drain cleaning equipment market of all things.
Yes.
So we're learning a lot about equipment used to clean drains and sewers. So if anybody has a specific need,
And all the different variations of.
we will not do it
tools.
for you, but we might be able to tell you where you could get good equipment.
Right.
That sounds like crappy work, man.
Yeah, it is. All right, let's see. Who did I mark? Then David Cutler. That's you, Jason, and then Jason.
So I'm going to try to describe a little bit about what, more even succinctly about what I talked about in my presentation a few weeks ago on NFTs and blockchain. So I'm taking my time. I'm David Cutler. I work with a company called Nuarca, and we figured out we've built a platform over the last 4 years using this crazy thing called blockchain, right? So we come from the fintech and the energy industry where things are very serious and locked down. And all of a sudden, all this crazy top shots, collectibles took off. And we're like, well, we've built that into our platform. We just, not leading with it because it seems insane. And it is insane to buy pictures or jump shots or whatever the NBA is doing and hope someone's going to, you spend $3,000 for something and someone's going to spend more for that. It's kind of crazy out there, but we've been all locked into our houses for a year. So that's why the craziness happened. So to describe what we've done with this technology platform that allows companies and people to leverage blockchain and NFTs as adults and as real business people. So we're looking for new business models. So this platform is a way to make it easier to leverage the blockchains and NFTs. So you don't have to worry about what a wallet is or how much it costs to mint something, whatever minting means, or worry about regulations or SEC codes. All of those barriers are taken away so you can actually take advantage of the good stuff. So what is the good stuff? Well, it's beyond collectibles, right? So we've built, and one example I'm going to share with you is one area that we're heading into. It's about sports and entertainment. So really, it is a blockchain management platform for sports and entertainment businesses, artists, talent, athletes, team owners, league owners, right? So they have communities of fans. Now they can leverage this blockchain capability, which we could talk more about later, which is more exponential business models. So we have built them a community-based monetization platform to build business with their fans, whether it's an artist or a team. I'll say that again.
Who's a good connection for you to sort of explore this further?
Anyone who's either involved with sports teams in any way, from esports to Indy 500 to badminton to lacrosse or rugby, anyone involved with the sports industry, and the same way in the music performance industry, whether it's a performer itself or their management or their agent, anyone in those industries, I'm interested in sharing with them the new future that they're trying to figure out, that we figured out how to make it easier for them to use. So sports and entertainment is my thing.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
And Jason Cement.
Hi, so I'm going to put it in here. I run a digital marketing agency. That's my Bruce Wayne identity, where we create websites and then we promote them with traffic and rankings and ads and social media and stuff like that. And then my Batman identity, as Michael knows, is an e-commerce platform company called Agricom, where we're sort of in the middle between Magento and Shopify. We have a platform that's easier to deploy, faster to deploy, costs less money, scalable, all sorts of things, and it's not restricted by templates and things like that. And that's what I wanted to show you guys is I need introductions to HR departments of clients that you might have if possible. We built an electronic test record tracking system. So if a company has to track, for example, vaccines or give employees the ability to track medical test records, this system is a good add-on for an HR service or HR benefit for employees. And especially now, if you read in the papers, quite often companies are now coming out saying that you can't come to work if you don't have a vaccine, like even on Wall Street. So this is a way for the entire, this is a way for the company to keep track of everybody. That's the idea. So it's called Your ETR. It's literally coming out of the gate now. Very few people have seen it. So if you know anyone who's like an HR consultant or a company that might be in a regulated space like healthcare or oil and gas or mental health or stuff like that, I'd love an intro for my client.
So it's mostly, is it so drug and vaccine testing, that sort of thing, or testing?
That's how it's starting, but the truth is the system can track anything and it's HIPAA compliant and nothing exists like this, so that if a company just says, okay, I need everyone to be tested, they can manage the whole thing instead of using Excel files.
Jason, did you say you wanted an introduction to HR people?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got somebody for you.
Very cool. That's what it's all about. And I will give myself 2 minutes as well. You all know me. My name is Michael Bendit, and I have a company called Software Development Resources, and that's what I do. I represent boutique software development teams and help match them with the right opportunities in terms of marketing applications and applications for startups. So I do a lot of work with digital marketing agencies who don't always have those resources, the development resources in-house. And they come to me and they say, Michael, do you have any people that could do, build a Magento site or fix a Magento site or a Shopify site or a WordPress site or, do a mobile application. So we tend to focus on the technical side and leave the sort of strategic side and the marketing design side to the partners that we work with. If we are asked to do the design, we'll be happy to do that. But we really focus on sort of the technical side. So great leads for me are digital marketing agencies that don't want to get, really mess up or mess with all of the code and the more technical side of digital marketing or building websites and building applications. And for this summer, what am I doing? I do have plans to go to California. I'm looking to join another yacht club. I don't own a boat, but I used to belong to a club that they had a boat share program up in Harlem, actually in City Island. And since I've moved to New Jersey, I'm checking out the ones available in this area, Perth Amboy, along the Raritan Bay. And hopefully we'll find one and get back out in the water. And also, of course, continuing to build the Trusted Referral Network, always looking for new members, people who might be interested, and working on an upgrade to the website. Would love to get feedback on people that you think obviously might be interested. I do have, and I think I mentioned this last time, I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. There's a section of the website that has a link to a registration for these meetings. It's for guests. And so I'm going to share my screen. So right here, try us out, come to a meeting. And if you send people to this register here button, it takes them to a place that they can register for one of the meetings. So the next one is June 29th. If you register, you'll be asked to pay $15, but you can apply a code, which I'm happy to give out. I think I may even, it's free TRN pass, all capital letters. But if you forget that, let me know. So this is a way to invite people who you think might be interested, or you can just connect them with me, and I'm happy to tell them all about it. But we'd love to have more people as guests so they can learn more about what we do. And anybody want to share anything else while we're still on the call? We have another 9 minutes.
So where do you sail? Where do you go sailing? Where's the trajectory here?
The trajectory.
When you're gone for the 3-hour tour, like Gilligan's Island, and we never hear from you again?
Yeah, so I will show you. I'm going to share my screen again. So here's the Raritan Bay, which is, here's Staten Island. I am somewhere around here in Westfield. So it's about a half-hour drive to get to Raritan Bay, and you can see it's a big bay.
Michael, my friend has a boat he keeps in Perth Amboy.
Oh, really? Would love to talk to him.
He lives in Scotch Plains, but he keeps his boat.
I did check out the Raritan Yacht Club, which is right here in Perth Amboy,
Right,
and the
right.
other one I'm looking at is in Keyport.
Yeah, he does the Raritan Yacht Club.
Yeah. So that's what's going on with me.
What kind of boat are you sailing?
Oh, I don't have my own boat. So each of these 2 clubs that I just mentioned, they have like 25-foot boats that if you're an experienced sailor, you could take out as part of their boat share program.
There you go.
Yeah.
I do that in the Charles River. You can just show up and grab one, and before you know it, you're living history.
All right, listen, thank you everybody for joining us today. If you've got any thoughts, feedback for how we can improve this for everyone, please let me know. I just got an inquiry that I'm trying to connect with David Nadler on. David Nader. David, you know what I'm talking about. So there's been some good opportunities that where I direct them off to people in this group, and hopefully you all do the same.
If we can help, wait, one last thing. If we can help you, that means we can go out to our network and invite them. Should we invite them with a specific sentence and that code? And do you want to write that sentence in that code and send to us so we make sure we have some consistency to it and we have the right hashtags or whatever else you want?
Well,
I'd be happy to do that.
Okay. I mean, I'll put the code in here, but
I mean, is there a particular link to that thing? Something that makes it easier for us, obviously, but I would personally be happy to send anything you want out into my network. And if that serves you, you should be kind of the controller of the words, not just us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. What I'll do, I'll put that in my in the newsletter. Here's what you can do. Here's the phrase. If you want to send this out to people who you think might be interested, here's what you can send them. Here's the link. Here's the code.
Excellent.
Michael, where's the recording from today? Because I missed the beginning of Beth's wonderful stuff on LinkedIn.
I always post it. It's still recording. I will. It'll be in the newsletter, but you can always go to the YouTube channel, which is also in the newsletter.
That's fine.
And find it. It should be, the most recent. It usually takes me a couple days to get around to posting the latest.
Not urgent.
Question.
Not urgent.
What's up, Stacy?
The newsletter, are we automatically on this list, or?
You should be. You should be. So
Is it monthly?
what's that? No, it's a weekly thing. It's not that much content. Most of it is, past meeting, next meeting, links to the videos.
Okay.
I usually have some more things about what we're doing. I offer it up, and I'm also willing to thinking about adding a section on, news about the members. So if you've got some interesting news, and I could, drop in 2 or 3 links a week to stuff that members are doing, have done, are proud of, I'm happy to do that. Just sort of member news, so that you can get more coverage.
Michael,
Yeah.
Quick question. You had mentioned this a while ago about, potentially creating like city chapters or something, right? So what's the update on that?
It's all on my plate right now. I am working on defining, and I do have some people who are interested. Patia said she's interested in potentially leading a chapter. But if anybody is interested, be happy to talk. I mean, my goal is to make it really easy to run a chapter and create your own chapter. Typically, it's going to be either a regional chapter, so a city chapter, where you might have category exclusivity. So, Patia might be the only social media maven, or Rajiv, you could be the SEO and reputation management person, or an industry specific chapter, which would typically be, it wouldn't be regional, regionally specific, but, for example, Stacy might want to start a chapter that is all lawyers, people who do marketing for lawyers of one sort or another. That really works in certain industries like legal and pharma, which is sort of insular. Fashion and beauty tends to like to work with people who are in fashion and beauty.
I was gonna say I prefer that version of it as opposed to the one person per seat thing, because I
Yep.
find that my best referral sources are people within the industry that I work in,
Exactly.
other
So-
marketers within the
Right.
industry.
So the idea, and the idea is to have them be a member of your chapter, but then they have the broader access to everybody in the trusted
Right.
referral network.
Right.
And clearly, I'm looking for people that you partner with and that you like working with, who are also providing marketing services. That's the whole point, is to share our trusted network with other people so that, you can do them a favor and help drive business their way, and vice versa. So yeah, Patia, it would be great to have, if you wanted to sort of take the lead on putting together a group of people who are focused on the fashion and beauty industry. There are in the trusted referral network, you can indicate up to 3 industry areas. So that would be ideal. In the next version of the website, we will also have chapters. So, it could be the fashion and beauty chapter, and it would have all of the members listed in that.
I like that.
So, I started a networking group. It's still active at the Marketing Network in New York. That is a category exclusive network. And I, did all the administration for a number of years, handed it off. It's just hard to get somebody. There's a lot to be done in terms of just, getting people to meetings and coordinating all that stuff. So I want to make it easier and then add this layer of benefit to, enable everybody to connect with each other.